Hello, everyone. My name is Cooper Naylor, and welcome to the new segment here on this show, here on this channel called Opinion. Today, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 country singers / bands of all time. So, buckle up and let's get going. All right, number one, and I think there's some debate about this, but in my mind, number one is George Strait. He is the king. I mean, just like a recent song that came out not too long ago by Scotty McCreery, George Strait is the king of country music in my mind. I mean, I don't understand how you could do country music without George Strait. I mean, he just embodies country music in my mind. And I think his best song he ever did was Write This Down. I mean, it's such a good song. I mean, it's talking about, just writing down every memory as you go along with your life. And, it's such a great song. Another one of his that is really great is Check Yes or No. It's such a fun song in Check Yes or No. I mean, it's just so much fun telling about two young kids who fall in love and they're basically high school sweethearts in a way, but then they get married and then it ends up it's such a sweet song. And I'll be honest, it's one of the greatest, I believe, country music videos of all time. It's really good. You have to see it to believe it. And I mean, one of the songs from his movie he did a long time ago, Pure Country, Heartland, was really great. But I think the best song that came out of Pure Country, I Cross My Heart. And it's such a good song because it just tells of a man who's just going to cross his heart, that he's going to do everything he can just for the one he loves. And it's such a great song. I really do think that's the best song from Pure Country. And I think really, if you're looking at George Strait's top two songs, in my opinion, Write This Down and I Cross My Heart are probably the top two songs ever. And I mean, you can go into much more, like Carrying Your Love With Me. That is, oh my goodness, that's such a good song right there. And George Strait is just the king of country music. I mean, there's no other way you can slice it right here. It's just, he's the king. Number two, I've got Alan Jackson. And if you're looking for, in my opinion, the greatest album ever to be recorded, that is, in country music, Alan Jackson's gospel hits, where he just sings all the gospel songs, to me is the greatest country album of all time. And I know you could consider it gospel and not country, but here's the thing. Alan Jackson to me is a country singer, and he brings a old school country style to the songs, so I think that's the greatest album ever recorded. The gospel track, Alan Jackson, and you gotta listen to it. His voice is perfect for all the songs, and you may have grown up listening to these songs, listening and singing these songs in church, but here's the thing. Alan Jackson just makes it so different listening to these songs. It just makes it so much better. But if you're looking for one of his original songs, Chattahoochee, let me tell you, that one is a very fun song, and I could listen to it all day long. Chattahoochee is such a great song, and I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. One thing I want to do is go see the Chattahoochee River just because of that song. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I want to go see the Chattahoochee River. So course, that's part of my bucket list. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a video for y'all to see here on YouTube someday of me going to the Chattahoochee River. Who knows? You never know. But next at number 3, and we're doing top 10. So we're at number 3 now. George Jones. He just sounds as if he's a guy who I mean, all throughout his career, he had that sound of an older man who just had this deep sound to his voice, and it was just so good. For example, I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair. Of course, this is when he's older, but I like the song. It's basically saying that, I don't need to do everything the way you do it. I'm doing it my own way. So, I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair is a great song. But then another one of his songs I really like, and this is going back to him I believe this is this 1959, 1960, somewhere around that time frame. White Lightning was a really great song, I think, and it's fun too. I think it would be really good if you're one of these people that's just now starting to understand what country music is. That's a great song to go listen to. And so, George Jones is number 3 for sure. Hank Williams Sr. is number 4. Now, all 4 of these men that I've listed so far, I mean, you could argue is the king of country music. I mean, let's be honest. Any of the 4, you could argue, is the king. And after that, I feel like there's not really a debate, because I feel like these are the 4 men who are the top. George Strait, Alan Jackson, George Jones, Hank Williams Sr. Hank Williams Sr. is the guy that brings heartbreak country. He is heartbreak country. And the reason I say that is because it just seems like he's just had these experiences in his life that just brings it out of him, and it just makes total sense, and his voice is so perfect. It's a blues style. It's so good. I Saw the Light, though, is such a good song, and the reason why I say that is because it's just as like a redemption for Hank Sr. because everybody knows like the struggles that he went through, but like I Saw the Light is such a good song, and so I think that's his top song ever. And I mean, if you're looking for a song that not only inspired people through country, but it inspired like all throughout these other genres of music, it's incredible. It's been so many times re-recorded, and so it's a great song right there. Hank Sr., I Saw the Light. Another one that's really great of his is Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. And this is one of his just super sad songs, but it's so good. And it's what made him Hank Sr. I mean, that's just him. Alright, moving on to number 5, Randy Travis. Now this is the one I know a lot of people may start being like, well, why'd you not put Johnny Cash or Merle Haggard or, Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers? I mean, I'll be honest. I am a big fan of Randy Travis and his music. I could sit down one day and just listen to his music all day because his voice it was just incredible. And of course, it was just one of these guys that just had the super deep voice. Like, if you're talking about one of the deepest voices to ever come into the country music scene, to just sound so good, And it just had that, I guess, like, it just had something special there from the beginning. And none other better represents his style than Forever and Ever Amen. It just is so good. And it's just telling of a man who is just going to stick by the side of his lover forever. And it's just such a good song. Deeper Than the Holler it's another one of those songs that's just so good. And the writing to his songs is just so good, folks. I mean, Randy Travis is one of these people that just has this voice that can just grab you and keep you into the loop of his singing, because everybody just, I feel like a lot of people hear it and then you just can't quit. It's just that good. So Randy Travis is number 5. Number 6 is Johnny Cash. And I mean, he's got so many great songs. I mean, Folsom Prison Blues is my favorite that Johnny Cash sings. It just is it's so good because it's a man who's killed somebody, and he's singing about why he regrets doing that on the train as he's going to Folsom Prison. And so it's really good. Another one of his good songs, I Walk the Line and Daddy Sang Bass. You gotta go see them. You know, just look it up. I mean, those are great songs. All these songs that I mentioned so far, you need to go see them because they're good. And you can find it, you know, all over the internet. So, Waylon Jennings is number 7, and his best song ever was "I'm a Ramblin' Man." That's just my opinion. His voice is so good, and I like listening to his voice so much. And it's just like the last 2 guys I mentioned are just outlaw country. I mean, it's just what it is. And Waylon Jennings, I mean, in I'm a Ramblin' Man, there's no other way to put it but outlaw country. That's what it is. So, number 8, Hank Williams Jr. And his best song was Born to Boogie. I mean, it's an incredible song. I mean, I think anybody would love hearing that. And it's just such a song that just, like, it just fits anything. Like, I mean, as y'all know, I'm a big football fan. That would be something you want to hear when you first turn on your TV to watch, say, like, Alabama and Auburn. And you've got Born to Boogie right there in the intro. I mean, you can't get anything better than that. There's nothing better than that. And then if you really want to hear the story of Hank Williams Jr., you got to listen to Family Tradition. I mean, it just details everything. So I think that's the song you got to see if you really want to know Hank Jr. Number 9 is Merle Haggard. And let me tell you, Big City is his best song because it just tells of a man who is trying to leave the big city and he wants to be set free to basically go out into the country and just do what he wants. The big city is, how he describes it in the song, it's just nasty work sometimes in the big city. So he wants to be set loose and be free. And it's incredible. And now we come to number 10, and it's the only band that I am going to mention, and that's Brooks and Dunn. Boot, Scootin' Boogie is their best song ever. Brooks and Dunn is just, they're the greatest band of all time, in my opinion. And you're looking at Boot Scootin' Boogie, and it's just, I mean, can you really like think of Honky Tonk any different? It's just, it's got that honky tonk country style, and it's incredible. If you haven't heard that song, you've got to go find it because it is incredible. So that's my top 10, and just right outside, I had Kenny Rogers, Roy Acuff, and Willie Nelson just outside of the top 10. And so, I mean, as you can see, country music has been bountiful in incredible singers. I mean, there's nowhere else, there's no other genre, in my opinion, that you can really say that there's more than 10 singers or bands that you could consider the top of the top, the best of the best. Country music is the only place you can see that, where it is just a toss-up for the top. So that is what makes country music incredible. So, in the comments, tell me what you think. If you agree with what I think, like my top 10, or if you think that I did something wrong with the top 10, like if I need to change it, if it's not the way that you think it should be. So let me know in the comments. Also, I plan on doing an opinion video on like top country music of today here in the 2020s. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again later.